Hi there, this is Andrew Paul Smith on day 24 of 100 inspirational videos in 100 days. Today I'm looking at a book that you probably have seen before, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is quite an old copy now. 1937 is when it was first published. And if you want a copy of this book, if you email me, I can send you a copy of it. So it looks like 1966, but anyway. I don't know if you've heard this one before, a little poem, and it says, I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store, for life is a just employer, he gives you what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. I don't know about you, but when I read that, I get tingles all over. And it's just that, well, one, it reminds me of the story that Jesus told about the guy who was setting on people at different times during the day. Some started really early morning, labouring in the field, and then some people started at dinner time, some people started late afternoon, and some started work really late in the early evening, just before the sun went down. And when it came to the end of the day, the employer, the guy who owned the field, the farmer, was paying everybody the exact same amount of money. And there was people complaining and saying, that's not fair. You know, we've been here since 5:30 this morning. We've worked from dawn to sunset, and you're paying us the same amount as these people who've not worked as many hours. That's totally unfair. He said, when you came, this is the farmer speaking, when you came to me at 5:30 this morning, I told you what the wages would be for the day, and you agreed to work for the whole day for that amount of money. Surely it's up to me as the employer to decide how much I pay my employees. It's got nothing to do with you. And I don't know, it just seems like a very strange thing for Jesus to be saying. Maybe he's telling us we need to renegotiate if we're in an employment which we don't think we're being paid enough in. And that's very difficult when there's 2.5 million people out of work in the UK. Is it 2.2 million now? But anyway, basically this is the desire of riches. People like myself in the last few years, oh no, I don't want to desire riches. That's all worldly, and I'm a spiritual man. And the trouble with that, it means it's a wonderful altruistic view of the world to be giving away everything for nothing. But the trouble then is that people don't value what you do, and you don't value what you do. More importantly, you don't think you're that important anymore, and things begin to wear out. Or you can say, well, I desire riches, but I desire them not just for me, but to be a blessing to other people, and that's the route that I'm taking now, the philanthropic route. But in my, I don't know if you do this in your books. But I've highlighted just above the poem these words of Napoleon Hill. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. And just let's, what the Bible calls selah, let's stop and think about that. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Are you ready to receive great wealth? My thought is that the people who work for a lot less money than they're actually worth are not ready. And however unfair that might seem, that's basically it. If someone thinks that they're worth that, whatever the amount of money is that they would wish to have, then if they think they're worth it, then they're much more likely to get it. And it says, not only does it say there is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive, it also says no one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. No one is ready, and that's in italics, for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. You can't have something that you don't believe that you deserve or it's likely for you to have. It's like we're getting into the realms of faith here, and I'm sure this is what Napoleon Hill's going to say. The state of mind must be belief, yeah? Not mere hope or wish. It's not good hoping or wishing. You've got to believe. You've got to be absolutely certain. You've got to know that whatever it is that you would like is going to be yours. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, or belief. Okay, so open-mindedness is essential for belief. So if you think, I've always been poorly paid, I've always had very little, scanty store as the poem calls it, that's normal for me, then the likelihood of you believing that you're going to have any more than the scanty store is very remote. And then it says, remember, no more effort is required. Wow! No more effort is required. I've been putting all this effort in, and I've been getting no real rewards, financial rewards to what I've been doing. But he says, remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life and demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. I don't know about you, but that kind of fits in with the poem, which obviously it should do because the poem's in the book, the Think and Grow Rich book. But also, it fits in with the story of Jesus, that you don't need to put any more effort in to be able to get, to be able to demand abundance and prosperity than you do to get misery and poverty. I think there's a lot of people who are upset that, about positive and negative, and they say, oh no, it's being real, and I've talked about that before here on my inspirational videos. But I think the important thing here is to remember that it is the expectation, it's the faith, the courage, the belief, the open-mindedness that is going to take you where you want to go, not the expectation of the past repeating itself. Okay, I'm going to read the poem again for you. I'm sorry, today I didn't feel that inspired, so I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Think and Grow Rich, because there's always inspiration in there. And this is, again, the great poet, he says, Napoleon Hill, has correctly stated this universal truth, the one that I've just been alluding to in reading you the bit of the book that I read to you that was highlighted here in my copy. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is a just employer, he gives what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. I'm just going to leave you with that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Namaste. Love and light to you. God bless you. This is Andrew Paul Smith of apsmithonline.com. And if you want to get a copy of this wonderful book on a PDF from me, all you've got to do is send me an email message, put in the title Think and Grow Rich, and it's info@andrewpaulsmithonline.com. I shall speak to you tomorrow for Inspirational Video 25. So bye for now.